I saw something about Harambe's culture theory. What is that about?
Okay,
Is he in heaven in that photo?
yeah,
Look at this guy.
So we're going to have to dive deep into some real weird internet stuff here. Okay. So just by a quick show of hands, do any of you have any idea what I'm talking about with this?
Harambe,
I remember the kid that jumped into the pit and then they shot the gorilla like he did something wrong.
Right.
The gorilla was just minding his own business.
Yeah,
I definitely remember
Jeremy,
this.
are you at all familiar with this?
I have no idea.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning, because the reason I bring this up is that the 8th anniversary of this event was yesterday, May 28th. This happened in 2016. So it's at the Cincinnati Zoo, and a 3 or 4-year-old kid crawls into the gorilla enclosure, falls down, and a silverback gorilla named Harambe grabs him and is dragging him around the enclosure.
Yes.
Here's a video of that incident. Clearly, this gigantic gorilla, Silverback, has a kid just like by the arm and is dragging him through the water.
Great parenting, by the way. Let your kid get to by the silverback.
Right now, the kid is like up underneath him, and this is part of what led to the discussion of, was he trying to protect the kid? Was he trying to hurt the kid? Did he view the kid as like just a thing to like kind of play with?
Probably like, where is his parents?
Yeah.
I'll babysit him, but like it's not my job.
It's happened before where like the baby falls in and the mother gorilla picks it up and cradles it. And gives it to the zookeeper. But the thing is,
look threatening. I mean, if it was my kid, I'd be freaking out.
And anytime a gorilla is holding a human child, odds are pretty good it's going to get hurt, because a gorilla, like see the kid goes to stand up and he's just holding it, but then he goes to run around. You can cut the video there.
He's probably like, well, this kid is not hairy at all.
Yeah.
Like, I'm used to hairy ass little
He's
kids.
bald.
It was unclear what was happening, but the kid got hurt. The kid was injured and was getting more hurt the more Harambe dragged him
because he
around.
fell into a gorilla pit.
Exactly.
Right? So that would
that was gonna hurt.
me too.
Yeah.
So ultimately, the zookeepers had to they shot the gorilla.
Jeez.
They fatally shot it. They went and they rescued the kid, and everything that happened since then, I believe that the death of Harambe 8 years ago at the Cincinnati Zoo might be one of the biggest inflection points that led us to the cultural rot we have today.
Are you serious?
And I'm prepared.
The shooting of a gorilla?
So Connor, you know what this segment is missing? A picture of Harambe with that Sarah McLachlan song playing in the background.
Yeah.
So yes, here's a tweet I posted yesterday. I cannot exactly prove that the death of Harambe at the Cincinnati Zoo on this day 8 years ago ended the world and cast us all into a kind of endless purgatory. But ask yourself this: have you actually felt alive since May 2016? Think about everything that went insane after that. No, okay, yes, obviously I'm exaggerating a little bit to be funny here, but I need you guys to understand, because Vinny, if you missed it, and Jeremy, if you weren't aware of it, the way this event shaped internet culture and the way we talked about things for the better part of a year is, I can't even overstate this. I had to make a list of all the ways that this thing came up. So there was a change.org petition calling to punish the parents and hold them accountable for the death of the gorilla, because they're saying there's no way the kid would have ended up there if you were good parents. So they started an online petition that got 338,000 signatures to hold them criminally responsible for the death of this gorilla.
Gosh.
It immediately, every time a news organization covered it or mentioned the memes that sprang up, I have a compilation of memes I'll get to in a little bit. And anytime this came up, people were immediately trying to say, well, this is just a dog whistle for racism. And they're talking about how, because the way the internet works is anytime anything comes up about a gorilla or a monkey of any kind, someone immediately tries to say, well, you're just talking about black people. As if to...
Doesn't that say more about the person making the claim?
It should.
Yeah.
It should.
He's like, why are you thinking about that?
Among those groups, it almost sparked a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against BuzzFeed by a Facebook group that was falsely accused of using Harambe as a racial meme. And BuzzFeed was just like, yeah, they were totally doing that. And then they didn't. BuzzFeed just made it up. So they almost got sued. This next one, I think, has some of the best versions of the meme. Who could forget the age-old "dicks out for Harambe" meme? Did you guys remember that?
I remember my brothers, because my brothers are like 5 and 6 years younger than me. And I remember going home at the beach. Maybe it was possibly Memorial Day. And everybody was going, dicks up for her. And I go, what? Dicks out for what? I don't understand
Who?
anything.
Harambe?
You
What
guys
the
are saying
fuck?
I'm keeping my wiener in my butt.
Hammurabi? What?
We're just
Hammurabi's code?
We're hardcore coming to avenge Harambe, and we're doing it genitalia exposed.
Yeah.
There was a Chinese zoo that had a baby gorilla born in their enclosure. They put up an online poll to see, like, what should we name it? Harambe McHarambe Face won that.
Bodie McBoatface one time when they named the boat, too.
Yeah.
Someone made a good
that's what
post
it's
about
based
that.
on.
They were like, the boomers dying is going to be terrible because millennials are going to be in charge of society, and then everything's going to be named shit like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
But then that was my
Cringe,
favorite
big boat
Harambe
face.
meme there. Listen, kid, I don't have much time. I have information that might indict Hillary Clinton. And then obviously somebody shot Harambe.
That's funny.
That's
Seth
great.
Rich.
But even beyond that, somebody hacked the zoo's official Twitter account and started posting edgy Harambe memes. The statement from the zoo was, "We are not amused by the memes, petitions, and signs about Harambe. Our zoo family is still healing, and the constant mention of Harambe makes moving forward more difficult for us.
Healing.
We are
Victim
honoring
culture.
Harambe by redoubling our gorilla conservation efforts and encouraging others to join us." So clearly the zoo had no sense of humor about it, but then again, they did have to shoot the gorilla.
Yeah.
Even beyond that, the University of Massachusetts Amherst had an email distributed among a bunch of people in its residence halls calling posting Harambe memes a microaggression against black people and saying that dicks out for Harambe was a Title IX violation because it was her sexual harassment against women.
Oh, my God.
So this was one of the, you have to remember where we were culturally in 2016. This
Yeah.
was still the Obama administration.
It was peak woke.
It was woke. Woke was like, we didn't have the term woke yet. Social justice warrior was a more
I
common
hate that.
expression for
SJWs.
it.
That
The
gets me sick
SJWs
just
and
hearing
the
that.
rise of snowflake culture. This was all going on right there. Trump was in his campaign. He'd only declared a little while before that.
Yeah.
Obama was still president. We were still figuring out a bunch of stuff with how the internet factored into the real world. And this really took off as like one of the first things of, you know, all the progressives were mad about animal rights activists were furious that you killed the gorilla, and if you use the gorilla meme, it's racist against black people, and conservatives were. This was like early Breitbart kind of Daily Wire-esque.
This
when
broke the internet, basically.
It really broke the
internet early.
But because of the election, it got mentioned by Trump. It got mentioned, I think, briefly by the Clinton campaign, not her directly, but people in her orbit. Harambe became a write-in candidate on 2016 ballots and allegedly got over 11,000 people who wrote his name as a protest because they were so mad about the fact that nobody wanted Trump and Hillary. Everyone wanted other candidates, so people were writing in Harambe.
Sounds familiar.
During early polls where people were writing in Harambe, he was beating Jill Stein by about 4%. So
Which doesn't take a lot,
yeah.
but
and this other one just blew me away. A Cheeto that looked like a gorilla sold on eBay for $99,900. We have a photo of that as well, right here.
oh my God.
This gorilla-shaped Cheeto. It was the Harambe Cheeto.
How much?
$99,900.
I hope that guy's dead.
Is what the billing
I hope
got
that
on
person's
literally.
dead.
But
Idiot.
the way that this had an irreparable effect on how people talk. Shane and I were what, like sophomores in college at that point?
My theory about this stuff is basically it's a way people don't even realize this is what they're doing, but it's a way to get back at a society that's seen as absurd or meaningless. So like if you were to try to explain this to an old person and be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like why are they all pretending to be so upset about this gorilla dying?
Yeah.
And it's like when society itself is so stupid and ridiculous, it's like people just want to make it even more ridiculous as a way to be like, well, if you don't take me seriously, I won't take you seriously.
course.
I won't take anything seriously.
And to that
And
effect,
it's
I actually have a
honestly
quote.
sad thing.
I have a quote I pulled from Vox because they did a whole write-up on the Harambe phenomenon.
Yeah.
If you were a progressive, the Harambe meme gave you the chance to mock what you viewed as the hypocritical haranguing of the mainstream media while avoiding real issues of social justice. If you were a conservative, you could mock liberal hysteria. It was the perfect balance of some people got to be mad about social justice issues without having to do any actual work. And then if you were on the other side, you could make fun of all the people who were hysterical about it. But this was, like I said, Shane and I were probably like sophomores in college at this point. This was right around the time I was first like getting online, paying attention to politics, observing cultural things. And about 3 or 4 months after Harambe, There was a family that was on vacation down here in Florida at a Disney resort, and they were hanging out by the lake on the property, and their like 3 or 4-year-old was splashing around in the water. An alligator came up and killed the kid.
Oh, damn.
This was an out-of-town family that had no idea that every large body of water in the state just assume there's an alligator in there.
Yeah.
And horrific tragedy. A family lost a child.
I remember that.
That wasn't even funny. But the online reaction was a bunch of people posting Harambe shaking hands with an alligator, be like, hey, if they take me out, you got to get one for me, right? Like they took me out for a kid, so you take out one to balance the scale.
Wow.
That was the reaction. These memes were trending for weeks, and it's like I couldn't even imagine how horrible it would be to be a family in that situation, and suddenly like, oh, because somebody shot a gorilla to save a kid, now my kid's death is a joke.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it's not what started the cultural rot. Like I said, when I said that was the moment that cast us into hell, it was kind of a joke. But it showed sort of everything coming together to form the culture we have now. And I just want to walk us through some of the events that happened in the immediate aftermath of this gorilla dying.
Okay.
So that happened May 28th, 2016. June 12th, we had the Pulse nightclub shooting.
Yes.
Which everybody remembers. It was dressed up as like a big anti-homophobia or a big anti-LGBT shooting.
Was the guy
it actually
gay?
wasn't.
Was the guy gay? That
Muslim.
No, it was an ISIS attack. He had no idea it was.
No, I thought he was
club.
gay. I thought he went there. He ended up going to the club.
Yeah, he was also
beforehand.
gay. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
But
he
he
was
was
undercover gay because he had a wife who also knew that he was going to do this.
Yeah.
And then did she ever get prosecuted or charged?
I think that there was some attempt to prosecute her, but basically,
So he's a gay terrorist.
yeah, but
Yeah, gay terrorist.
Got it.
he didn't seem to know it was a gay nightclub. He was shooting it up on behalf of the Islamic State. June 23rd.
Sorry. I'm gonna just. Everybody's gonna.
We're not laughing at the shooting. Let's be clear about
I'm not-
that. We're
oh, the
laughing at
shooting, I
gay,
thought I was
the idea of gay
I
terrorists.
was guys, I'm a comedian at heart. I just thought gay terrorist. I'm sorry. I just
So he takes everybody out. He dies. He gets up to Muslim heaven. He gets 72 virgins, and they're all women.
All for
He's
nothing.
like, wait, I didn't want. Oh no.
Again,
I didn't-
terrible tragedy.
I want to
Pulse
see the
nightclub
contract
shooting.
for what kind of.
But anyway, June 23rd, the Brexit referendum began.
Gotcha.
That was when there was the whole thing of England trying to leave the European Union.
Never really happened.
Yeah,
Never
it didn't
really
happen until 2020, and even then it barely
but
happened. But like that caused political turmoil over there. July 6th, Pokemon Go broke
Oh
out.
God.
Oh,
Where
my God.
everybody lost
I
their
remember
minds.
that. That's when everybody's walking around the neighborhood with the phones going
Yeah.
like this.
bunch
Look
of
at Yeah,
assholes.
but I do that recording chicks, and I'm the creep. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
fair.
weird.
That's fair.
Permanently plugged into their phone, walking around the neighborhood in the dark, going to people's backyards.
People
my
getting
car.
hit by cars and
Yeah.
I'll celebrate.
And I had grown men that I was friends with that had families that were leaving their children to walk around the neighborhood to collect Pokemon.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm
They
sorry
should
I
die.
snuck into your backyard at 2 o'clock in the morning. I thought there was a Charizard back there.
Yeah. Exactly.
Remember the Hillary ad, Pokemon Go to the polls?
I don't know who made this Pokemon Go, but they need to make Pokemon
And-
go to the polls.
Yeah.
Here's the
Shut
thing.
up, Hillary.
This is gonna sound super dorky. I was like in 7th grade when Pokemon became a thing. I collected all the cards, and I used to tell my dad, I was like, Dad, I'm gonna become a millionaire on these Pokemon cards. One day they're gonna be worth something. And that never ended up coming to fruition until the Pokemon Go craze came around. And I go, Dad, where's my binder with all my Pokemon cards? Everybody's playing Pokemon Go. And my dad said, I threw that gay shit away. My Charizard and my Mew card.
Yeah. Could have put your kids through college on that. But then September 3rd of that same year, U.S. and China enter the Paris Climate Accords, which you know the whole psycho thing around that. October 7th of that year. Interesting date. The intelligence community makes the Russian election hacking allegations.
Weird.
The Washington Post leaks Trump's Access Hollywood tape, and WikiLeaks posts Hillary Clinton's emails all on the same day.
Wow.
And then
What a day, huh?
like
Magical.
Blast
insane
from the
day.
past.
The effects of that day in particular. You want to talk about the effects of an October 7th? We're still feeling that today.
Dude, imagine having to write articles that day.
Oh my
I can't
God.
even imagine. I'm glad I was,
suck.
you know, what, like 19 and in college at that point. November 8th was, you know, of course, the day Trump was elected. And then that following January 6th, so January 6th, 2017, is the day the intel community first alleged Russian election interference
Collusion.
that benefited Trump.
Weird.
Wow.
And it began from there, and we are still feeling the effects of it today. So these are cultural things, political things. Most of them have nothing to do with Harambe, obviously.
So here's my question. who gets more votes, Harambe in 2016 or that strange guy the Libertarians just nominated this year?
Oh God,
yeah.
Chris Oliver or Chad Oliver?
Chad.
Chase Oliver. Chase Oliver.
That
Sorry.
same guy.
He's
same
just
name.
he's so memorable. I mean, I can't believe we.
Given that guy's Twitter history, I'd trust Harambe with a kid more. But that's neither here nor there.
I still can't get over the Cheeto.
Yeah.
Drake, can you show that Cheeto really quick? Can you show that? By the way, $99,000.
Now I don't know if it sold for that much or if it was listed for that much, but they were bidding on this for weeks.
That's unbelievable.
It's like somebody that sees the Virgin Mary on a slice of toast.
Yeah, and then
Exactly.
saves it and sells it. Okay,
and
I'm sorry.
Harambe
Thanks,
became
Dre.
like a new cultural icon here. And like I said, the way this shaped the way people, me and Shane's age, the way it shaped the way we thought and talked and viewed things, it sort of put into perfect relief how ridiculous the world was. We latched on to this thing about a gorilla because we couldn't stand the fact that politics was ridiculous and it made no sense and the world was just deserving of being parodied. But just to show that Harambe remains culturally relevant, this was a post from Elon Musk just a couple days ago. Because
OG dog.
Dogecoin dog died.
when the dog who the Shiba Inu, the famous meme, the Doge meme that became Dogecoin, died just a couple days ago, you saw the caption, "OG Doge has ascended to heaven and will now be with his friend Harambe."
Oh my God.
Elon Musk remembers.
Does that mean it's over? Like the whole cycle we're in? Or
I don't know if we begun a new cycle or if it's just
Post-woke.
getting worse.
Post yeah.
Yeah.
So it's over.
Yeah. So
think it's over?
I do
Hopefully.
at least in part believe that the death of that gorilla broke the world in a way that we're only now just beginning to understand.
Holy shit. I didn't know where you were going to go with it. Now, I'm actually upset. I'm actually really, really upset with the damn gorilla situation. And that if that Cheeto sold, I'm going to go start buying a bunch of Flaming Hot Cheetos and look for like Joe Biden maybe sniffing somebody or just something and help you guys sell it on eBay.